I'm Ashtyn Hiron, joined by Tim Oldham, CEO and Managing Director of AdAlta. You've announced an important partnership today. Could you talk us through it?
AdAlta today has announced a partnership with Synthesis Bioventures. Synthesis is a new venture capital firm led by serial biotech entrepreneur Professor Andrew Wilkes. And together we've identified what we think is a pretty exciting opportunity to work together to create a new jointly owned company which, once established, will provide a pathway to Western regulated markets for Asian innovation in the field of cellular immunotherapies. And we think this is really important way of accelerating a third pillar of AdAlta's strategic purpose, which is to add technologies that are complementary to our iBody platform and closer to the clinic than our discovery programs. So it's a very important day for us, and we're very excited about the next 6-month period as we work with Synthesis to put this together.
Sounds very exciting. And could you also explain what is AdAlta's iBody technology and why it's so useful in cellular immunotherapy?
AdAlta's iBodies are a really tiny antibody-like molecule. They're the smallest known structure that looks like an antibody, and that small size is really, really important for these cellular immunotherapies. So what we're talking about here is a modification of a patient's own immune system. We engineer it so it can overcome all the defenses that cancer throws at the immune system. That means it's got to be able to target very, very specifically molecules found on the cancer surface, and it has to be able to overcome the immune suppression that the cancer imposes on our immune system. Now, all of that's great, and we've had some amazing successes in blood cancers, but to do the same thing in solid cancers means we've got to engineer more functions into these immune cells. And that means because we can only put so much new genetic material into the immune cells, each building block has to be as small as possible. So AdAlta's iBodies combine the advantage of being that smallest possible building block with some ability to hit some very unique targets on the surfaces of cancer. And so we think that this will enable us to help these innovations coming out of Asia to enhance the next generation of their pipeline as well. So in that way, we get the synergies, not just of clinical stage assets from the incredible innovation that's happening in that part of the world. They get the benefits of our iBody technology as well.
And that was my follow-up. Why have you chosen to focus on Asia-Pacific cellular therapy innovations?
Quite simply, these new cellular immunotherapies are transforming cancer outcomes. And as we looked around the world for where could we really be competitive in this space, it became very apparent that there were three things happening. Firstly, the epicenter of innovation, particularly for solid tumors in cancer, is now happening in China, specifically in Asia generally. More than 50% of all clinical trials in cellular immunotherapies are now happening in Asia. The second thing we observed was that Australia has a really well-established cell and gene therapy ecosystem. So we have very well-established clinical manufacturing capabilities. We have very well-established clinical trials. There are over 150 cell and gene therapy clinical trials that have already been conducted in Australia. We conducted the first CAR T cell therapy trials outside of North America. So we've got the ecosystem here to enable it to happen, and probably at about half the cost of what can be done in the US. And thirdly, these Chinese and Asian innovators don't have the financial resources or the local knowledge know-how in order to be able to execute these trials into Western regulated markets. So we can provide all of that in addition to our iBody technology, and that creates, we believe, a really distinctive positioning in this field that means we can sustain competitive advantage.
And opens up a lot of opportunities for you guys.
Absolutely. We're super excited about where this could go.
And looking ahead, could you tell us what shareholders can expect from you guys in the future?
So on this front, we work together with Synthesis Bioventures over the next 6 months to work through a pipeline of existing assets we've already identified and some new pipelines to select the potential initial assets to bring into Australian clinical trials. So that's the window over the next 6 months. You'll see progress on this particular collaboration. Of course, this is not the only thing we're working on. The big focus of our business at the moment is generating a return on our investment in our lead asset, the clinical stage 8214. Partnering discussions, both for out-licensing and for financing that through a special purpose vehicle, are progressing well and satisfactorily. And again, we hope to be able to announce progress on that front in the relatively near future as well.
Tim, we'll look out for any news. Thanks so much.
Thank you.